Hello and welcome, parents of our future Field Tigers. I'm Dr. Miller, principal of Field School, and I'm so sorry we are not able to meet in person at this time, which is traditionally done here at Field for transition from 5th to 6th. But I'm hoping to be able to provide you with quite a bit of information to help you become more familiar with Field. I'll also be doing a presentation for your children, so they will also have an opportunity to learn much of this information, but I'm going to gear it towards them, so it'll be a little bit different, but mainly the same information. So some of the questions that you will get answers to in this presentation are what a day will look like for your child, what the basic schedule is, courses that we offer, activities that they can participate in after school. We'll discuss how your child is placed in particular courses at Field, as well as the timeline for placement, when you'll find out what particular classes your child will be placed in, and then any other information I think might be helpful to familiarize you with Field. So what does a day look like for a student here at Field? Well, students may enter the building at 8:20 a.m. and each grade level will have a location, like they do this year actually, where they can wait until the 8:30 bell. We're really hopeful that students can use lockers this fall. This year we've been unable to do that for safety restrictions, but hopefully when the 8:30 bell rings, students will be dismissed to their lockers for the day, and their first period will begin 7 minutes later with morning announcements. So the amount of minutes per class are a little bit different depending on the subject area. Our English Language Arts is an 80-minute block. They do get a break in there, but the English Language Arts reading and writing is all done during that 80-minute block. Each math class is 60 minutes long. And all the other classes, social studies, science, Spanish, PE, fine arts, and lunch are 40 minutes each. And then students attend an advisory every day, which is 20 minutes long. And I'll talk a little bit more about advisory a little later in the presentation. Every student takes English Language Arts, and our English Language Arts scope and sequence for Field Middle School is aligned to the Common Core State Standards, and 6th through 8th grade curriculum includes multiple thematic units per grade level. Instruction, practice, and assessment are done in the 4 literary components of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. All of our ELA teachers incorporate self-selected independent reading into their ELA block, as well as word work, including Greek and Latin root words, and grammar instruction using mentor sentences for analysis. Reading lessons are really focused on comprehension and text analysis skills. We use a variety of text types, including short stories and novels and drama and poetry and informational text pieces, including articles, editorials, biographies, and autobiographies. The writing curriculum incorporates the 6 traits of the writing process and analysis of model text. We base these on the 3 models of writing of argumentative, informative, explanatory, and narrative writing pieces. We do practice collegial discussions as well through literature circles. But our overall goal for our English Language Arts program is for our students to be readers and writers who use literacy to express themselves confidently and to use literacy to learn about the world around them and to use literacy to influence the world in a positive way. As I mentioned earlier, they take this course for 80 minutes a day. The levels of English Language Arts classes we have, most students take the General English Language Arts, known as ELA. Some students will take ELAW, which is our accelerated. We usually have 1 section of that in 6th grade. And our students who are learning English take a sheltered English Language Arts class. We have 3 levels of mathematics courses per grade level at Field. We have an on-grade level course, an accelerated course, and a twice accelerated course. The curriculum for each course is fully Common Core standards based with high school standards incorporated into some of the accelerated courses. Students on the accelerated pathway complete high school Algebra 1 in 8th grade. Students on the twice accelerated pathway complete Algebra 1 in 7th grade and Geometry in 8th grade. Teachers use a concrete to representational to abstract sequence of instruction. Although level courses are inherently more homogeneous, the teachers still recognize the need for differentiation and consequently employ practices to ensure that needs of all learners are met. So this slide just kind of gives you an idea of where they would start their high school career based on the math course that they take in 6th grade. So Common Core on grade level math in 6th grade will end up in Algebra 1 as a freshman. If they're in the single accelerated class in 6th grade, they will end up in geometry or geometry honors in freshman year, and then the double accelerated will be in Algebra 2 for their freshman year. However, we do not make the placements, the high school does, but this is our best guess on where they start in 6th grade, where they might end up when they enter high school. The social studies scope and sequence for Field Middle School is aligned to the Illinois Learning Standards for Social Science, the C3 framework, the Illinois Social Science state mandates, and the Common Core state standards history/social studies reading standards. Our teachers use a variety of primary and secondary source documents and DBQs, or document-based questions, to teach the 4 core disciplinary concepts of social studies, which are civics, geography, economics and financial literacy, and history. The 6th grade social studies curriculum focuses on ancient world civilizations, including river civilizations, classical civilizations as in Greece and Rome, and the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Our 7th grade students focus on U.S. history, and 8th grade is modern world history. We have a general social studies class, and for our English learners, they take a sheltered social studies class. Science at Field is aligned to the next generation of science standards. The curriculum includes 3 core content units of life, earth, and physical science per year for grades 6 through 8, and grades 7 and 8 have chemistry units. The curriculum design follows an integrated approach to science content topics with an increase in complexity at each grade level. The 6th grade science curriculum integrates 1 physical science unit on light and waves with 3 earth science units on water, weather, and rock formation. 7th grade will have more biological science study, and 8th grade will have physical and chemical science. Every single day, students have a 20-minute advisory. And the advisory basically serves as their homeroom. This is their home base. So if they have a particular problem or question, they will go to their advisor, and you are encouraged to do the same. They're kind of your first place to go when you have a concern, is to contact your child's advisor. Most of the advisories are basically made up of math classes. So if your child has math class, they're going to notice that the same students in their math class are also in their advisory. It doesn't happen to be your math teacher, however, it could be a different teacher, but they're the same students is what they're going to notice. The main focus of our advisory program is to teach students to organize, to really develop their skills of executive functioning. And all of our staff were trained in the Rush Neurobehavioral Executive Functioning Program. And this is a research-based foundation for building key executive functioning strategies and skills necessary for long life success. The school adopted common key necessary supplies and materials to use with all students. Materials include an innovative all-in-one binder / backpack / computer bag with specifically colored plastic folders that correspond to specific classes. They get a Chromebook, and then they also get a paper agenda. All students receive the exact same materials. And we use advisory class to really teach best practice strategies and skills for organizing, study skills, and for goal setting. We also use this time to teach social emotional learning standards and other school business that students need to know about. Students in middle school have physical education every single day, and traditionally students change for PE. Although we did not change this year due to COVID restrictions, I'm hopeful that we can return to our traditional programming this fall. If that is the case, every single 6th grade student will be provided a brand new PE uniform. They will have the opportunity to purchase additional accessories such as sweatshirts and sweatpants this fall. We want you to know that our physical education program is really built on the concept that physical education should be relevant and engaging for all students. And we really want to make sure we develop a positive peer interactions, positive attitudes, really have an inclusive mindset. And students do get an exposure to a wide variety of sports in their PE classes here at Field. Most students at Field will take Spanish. We offer 3 years of middle school Spanish, and it basically equals 1 year of a high school course. At the end of the 3 years of middle school Spanish, students are considered to be mid-level novice speakers. And students who take the 3 years of Spanish generally move into Spanish 2 or Spanish 2 honors. However, again, that's really dependent upon how they perform at Field and where the high school places them. Students may choose to take another language, however, when they get to high school. They're not stuck in Spanish just because they took that course in middle school. Every single year a child is at Field, they have 4 fine and applied arts courses. Each of these courses is 9 weeks long, and so they have 2 different fine and applied arts classes each semester. So one semester they will have family and consumer science and STEM lab, and the other semester they will have 9 weeks of art and then 9 weeks of music. Our FACS, or Family and Consumer Science course, focuses mainly on sewing and pattern interpretations, learning trends in health and well-being, and then the science and advanced culinary practices through the baking and pastry specialty of cooking. Our science, technology, engineering, and math program, 6th grade students mainly learn manual drafting skills and some basic principles of engineering in order to build a 10-inch by 3-inch truss. It's pretty cool. And then they will learn how to test their truss for its efficiency and give it a rating on its effectiveness. Our art program really uses a lot of big ideas to make meaningful studio art and connects across our curricula. The elements and principles of design are taught and used in all of our art classes, and our 3-year curriculum is really examined through the ages of cave through the Renaissance, and students engage in personal expression in a variety of 2D media, such as painting and printmaking and value drawing and perspective drawing. Our music program, the goal is to give kids the tools to better understand how composers communicate through music, appreciate the joys of making music together, and to develop the tools to be independent, lifelong musicians. They do this through composition, musical analysis, and instrumental instruction, with an emphasis on learning the ukulele, the keyboard, and the guitar. Special education students and English language learner students are provided a resource class instead of taking Spanish. So students with IEPs have a resource class where it's a small group where they get individualized support from the general education classes that they take, whether that's working on homework or the teacher is reteaching some of the content. And then our English language learners also get a resource class similar. It's a class because they're learning English, they need additional support with the general education classes that they take. Again, items being retaught or taught in a different way. We also offer additional classes for students who might need support with reading or math or organizational skills. Students who need additional support with reading would get a reading intervention class where they focus on reading comprehension and fluency. We have a math strategy class, which is more about reteaching what the student learned in the core, but they may need just additional support in learning those strategies. We have math intervention for students who might come in with some gaps in their learning, or there might be some computation skills that they need to kind of really improve on. And so this would be an opportunity to do that. And then for students who have organizational challenges, we have a guided study. So this is a place where they can help get organized to do their homework. They can set goals. They can work on study skills. It's just literally what it says. It's a guided kind of study hall for your child who might be struggling with organization. Lunch and recess. So each day there are 40 minutes for students to eat lunch and have recess. Quest is the company we utilize for our lunches, and this fall we'll either have our traditional or our federally funded program. Our traditional program is 2 hot lunch choices, a daily hamburger, chicken sandwich, a la carte items, a salad, snacks, etc. But if we do use the federally funded lunch program that we are currently using, this provides 1 free lunch to every student each day. Monthly menus, regardless of which lunch program we use, are available on our website. So as I mentioned before, students are provided 20 minutes to eat and 20 minutes for recess. We will most likely keep students socially distanced in the fall like we do now for lunch. So they sit at their own individual desk. However, they can still talk to their friends and see their friends and be social during this kind of downtime. If students want to take advantage of extra assistance, we do also offer academic lunch. And then finally, if we have some tigers who make some poor choices and just need some intervention, we do utilize lunch and or recess for that as well. We utilize several different forms of data to make placement decisions for students in sixth grade. In the fall, traditionally, Winkleman has given the cognitive abilities test, but that assessment this year was given in the spring. So the COGAT and MAP scores and the SIG scales for identifying gifted students, those are all used to help us make math and accelerated ELA placement decisions for incoming sixth grade students. We will also use MAP scores and Ames Web scores from fifth grade to help us make any intervention decisions if a student might benefit from guided studies or a math strategies class. So the timeline for you finding out what classes your child has been placed in. So we take all that data I mentioned in the previous slide that was gathered between September and January of the previous school year. And at the end of this school year, we start making decisions about placement for math and English language arts. You will be notified through the mail after July 4th what math or English language arts program that your child was placed in. If your child was placed in double accelerated math or accelerated English language arts, they will need to come to field and pick up work that they'll need to complete this summer in order to begin the class in the fall. In July and August, we're looking deeper into that data to determine if there are students who would benefit from guided studies, math strategies, or reading and math interventions. And those letters would be mailed home approximately 1 to 2 weeks before school begins. Now, after you receive the placement letters, and if you have any questions or concerns, contact me directly. Traditionally at Field, we have many opportunities for students to engage in activities after or before school. This school year has been kind of a disappointment because of COVID. We've not been able to offer as much as we would like, but I'm really hopeful that this fall many of these programs can be brought back. So we have several athletic programs. For example, in the fall, we traditionally have co-ed soccer, so boys and girls co-ed soccer teams. We also have boys and girls basketball and boys and girls volleyball. I'm hoping that this will be the first year we have wrestling offered for our students. And in the spring, we have track and field, which we have this year. We're very excited to say. So hopefully in the fall and next year, we can have all of these wonderful sports for our Tigers. We also have some non-athletic activities. In the fall, we traditionally have a fall play that is open to all students, whether they want to dabble in the dramatics and act on stage, or they want to work behind the scenes technically or with sets. In the spring, we have chorus. And of course, every single day we have student council. And student council is open to every single student here at Field, and it meets before school. Traditionally, we also have clubs, and although we only had a few clubs this year, I'm hoping we can bring back many more clubs next year. So traditionally, we've had Science Olympiad, the Kindness Club, Origami Club, and so we're really hoping that we can bring more clubs back in the fall. Oh, and also Homework Hub, which isn't really a club, but it's an after-school opportunity for students to work on homework or get help from teachers on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays after school. So I'm really hopeful that we can bring back that as well. Band at Field is held in the morning before school, and then sectional lessons are held during the day. Our concert band practices every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 7:45 a.m. and wind ensemble practices on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday before school. As I mentioned, sectionals take place during the school day on a rotating schedule, and band is a graded class. Some important dates to jot down in your calendars. Placement letters for language arts and math will be mailed home after July 4th. We have a new student orientation scheduled for Friday, August 12th from 1:30 to 2:15. And this new student orientation is for students only. and they're new students. So if they're new because they're in sixth grade, or they're a new seventh grader or eighth grader to Field, this is open to all of those students. There's a presentation by Mr. Cooper and me, and we will give a tour of the building, answer questions, and finish it off with some delicious ice cream. Field Family Fest, which is where students come and get their schedules and their locks. 7th and 8th grade students will also be getting their backpacks and their Chromebooks. 6th grade students will not be getting those items until their first day of school, however, but they'll get their lock and their schedule at Field Family Fest. So again, that's tentatively set for Tuesday, August 17th. This past year, we did one night per grade level because of COVID, and there were some things that worked out really well. So if this changes, I will notify families as soon as possible. So just tentatively go ahead and mark that week of 16th as Field Family Fest. But right now we're looking at the 17th. And 6th grade student orientation. We are hopeful to be able to schedule an orientation just for our incoming 6th graders on August 18th. The idea that we're working on is that students would attend from 8:30 to 11:30. Again, only 6th grade students. We would have busing on this day as well. And they would just have a day, or a morning, I should say, to really get acclimated to the building, learn where they're going, learn how things work without having any other grade level in the building. And then, of course, the first day of school for all students is August 19th. And what to expect on that first day? Well, all of our Tigers enter the building by themselves. So whether they ride their bike, they walk, they get dropped off, or they ride the bus, there'll be a lot of adults around making sure to help them know where they're going. But if they arrive between 8:20 and 8:30, they'll be directed to their waiting area, and the bell will ring at 8:30, which way they will be directed to either their first period or their advisory class. We're still in the process of working out that schedule for the day. And then they will attend every single class. They will have lunch here and spend their first full day here at Field. A few reminders from our nurse, and you can find all of this information on our website. But we just want to remind you that a physical exam paperwork is needed to start the school year. Updated and complete immunization records. 6th graders will require shots. We require a dental form and completed forms if your child requires any medication at school or has any other health condition that requires the support of the nurse. We would love all of this by the first day of school. Complete an athletic eligibility requirement form if your child intends to play in any sports. As I mentioned before, all this information is also on our website, and you can also call our school nurse, Mrs. Gastelum, with any questions about what is required for your child to start school. Please do not hesitate to ever reach out to me or our assistant principal, Mr. Cooper, if you have any questions or concerns, or if we can clarify anything for you. But here at Field, we use many different avenues of communication. First and foremost, feel free to visit our website for menus and calendars or events that are taking place. Skyward Family Access, you will be able to use that to see how your child is progressing academically. We will have gradebook updates, and we will let you know the dates that you can go into Skyward to see how your student is doing. I write a weekly newsletter, so every Friday you will receive an email from me on any news or information that's important. Every grade level also creates a monthly newsletter sharing the academic, what kids are learning in class, what they're doing here at Field. Your teachers will also utilize email or phone calls to contact you directly. We encourage you to do the same. Please make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. We have the @FieldD31 there that you can use to follow us. We will also utilize Skylert if a bus is running late or we need to communicate with the entire all the families here at Field. We will utilize Skylert for that as well. Again, as I mentioned earlier, any questions, concerns, suggestions, please feel free to reach out directly to me. But we do encourage you with any questions or concerns related to a specific class that you reach out first to your child's classroom teacher or advisor. Thank you so much for watching this presentation, but I do want to provide an opportunity for our parents and guardians to ask me any other questions they may have. So I'll be holding a Zoom meeting on Tuesday, May 11th at 7 p.m. to answer any questions or clarify any information for you. A link to this Zoom meeting will be sent to all of our fifth grade parents and guardians. So I look forward to seeing you then. And again, thank you for watching the presentation.